And what was the first thing you wanted to do when you won that blade?
I wanted to throw it at one of those wooden boards.
Was your brother jealous when you won the blade?
Very. He was especially mad because he switched me tickets. So if he didn't do that, he could have won this.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, I have been meaning to show this knife off for quite some time. You're looking at, it's a lockback folder made by Boker with mother of pearl handles, and of course, you guys in the know, which is going to be all of you, that is a Damascus Blade. This is a gorgeous knife. It's a very small knife. Just by way of comparison, what I happen to have on me right now is the Spyderco Manix 2. You can see how much that knife dwarfs this little Damascus blade, this little Boker blade. But this blade is not my blade. This actually belongs to my son. And yes, this is a very expensive blade, and he owns it. Why does he own it? He actually won it. We go back in time. It's been, geez, 2 years, 3 years now. Blade HQ kind of had a grand reopening, and we went. He and my other son grabbed some tickets for a raffle, and he won this blade. So what's really funny about it is as soon as he won it, what he wanted to do is they had a knife throwing station, and he wanted to go over there and throw this knife as part of that knife throwing activity. The Boker guy was going nuts because he's like, oh my gosh, this kid has no idea what he won. And he didn't, but I did, and as he's got older, he's become to appreciate it more. But the blade on it is about, well, it's a 2-inch blade. The actual cutting edge on that is more of the 1 3/4 inch length. And the Damascus, if you guys haven't seen the process for making Damascus, if you're kind of knife nerds and you're into that thing, I think you'd find it interesting. The heating up process, the cooling down, the reheating, the folding, the welding. It's really quite an interesting process. This one is a hand forged, and it's a 300 layer Damascus blade, so kind of gives you an idea a little bit, but the pattern on it is really cool because each of these knives really kind of have their own unique pattern. I mean, in a sense, they're just like fingerprints, and there's just something about Damascus blades that are really cool. Also, if we move down the blade a little bit, you see we have this polished silver nickel bolster. It kind of comes off as gold in a lot of cases. You can kind of see, that gives you an idea. You can see how reflective that is. There's the camera. There's my green screen and the hanging up on the wall. But if you put it down, see that almost takes on a gold look, but it is silver, and the liners, it's got some brass liners in there which are the gold, so that kind of gives you a better comparison of what color those bolsters really are. Now, moving down to the handle, this thing is just amazingly gorgeous with those mother of pearl handles, and it looks kind of like a texturous handle, but it is actually smooth all the way down. It's just the variety of the pearls. Now again, same thing with the Damascus handle. These pearl handles are going to take on a very unique character of their own on each blade. But man, this is just a really good looking blade. I don't get it out much. I just kind of leave it in. I'd never thought I'd have a safe queen knife, but to be honest with you, this is one. Mostly because I don't consider it my knife. I do consider it my son's. However, this is my second oldest son, and he's not quite ready for a knife of this nature. So I will be holding on to this for years until he's old enough to take care of it himself. Hopefully what I see this as is something that's passed down to generations. You know, he can tell the story of where he got it. He was with his dad, he was with his older brother at this knife thing, and I think that would be a really cool option for this. So that's why I'm going to hold on to it until he gets old enough. But again, looking at those mother of pearl handles, the character in which they give this blade are just amazing. beautiful, beautiful handles. I really do wish this knife blade was mine. Maybe I'll lose it and hide it from him. I'm kidding. But very unique, very beautiful, and it's got a reasonably good edge on it. It's pretty sharp. It'll probably pop a few hairs, and kind of just get a look at it. And it's closed. Again, there's kind of a taken on that gold. That is not gold. Really, really just a fantastic looking blade. Certainly a gentleman's folder, and man, this is a really cool one. So this isn't so much a review of the blade as it is just kind of showing off just a beautiful piece of cutlery. And when we got this blade, the Boker representative was telling us in the States, actually, there's not a whole lot of these. I can't remember what he said offhand. I want to say under 100, if memory serves correct, but that was so long ago, I'm not sure. I did do some browsing around on the internet to see if I could locate them. I did find them, but they were extremely hard to find, and one of those I found was actually overseas. And so they are quite rare. They are expensive for this small of a blade. You're looking at, gosh, I think he told me 500 at the time, and that must have been MSRP. So what I found recently, just today when I was doing it, is more of the 230 range. So really, if you're a collector of beautiful fine knives, $230, that might be quite reasonable. But again, I just can't get over the beauty. In preparing for this review, I've just been oogling this thing all night and being jealous of my own son, who is 8 years old, and the knife that he owns, and it's not mine. So just wanted to show that off real quick, guys.